Ah, and welcome back, everyone, to What If Master Roshi Adopted Goku, Part 3? Anyway, my Roshi's a little off today. I heard someone give me a compliment for my Roshi. I actually think I do a pretty good Master Roshi, but it's a little off today. But also, I gotta do young Roshi in this one, so it's not gonna be the same anyway. Anyway, so last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If Master Roshi adopted Son Goku. So we basically had them dealing with Mercenary Tao and basically racing up to meet Master Coin. And when they get there, Coin's like, Roshi, it's been a while. You look as dapper as ever. Oh, come on now, Master Coin. That's sarcasm doesn't become you. I'll have you know, sarcasm becomes me very well. That being said, I know why you're as young as you are. You don't think I may not be kami, but I can observe just as much as the next cat. You young man, used the Dragon Balls to restore his youth, didn't you? I did. And he just looks down at Goku, looks at Goku and says, Well, you seem like a kid of good character, so I'll let that slide. Not that the Dragon Balls are really my business, but still. I do get a say in some matters that go on this planet. But I guess the question is, why exactly are you here, Roshi? Roshi, you completed your training with me well over a couple centuries ago. Well, you see, we were in the neighborhood, and one thing led to another. Let's try that again. You were fighting and defeated the mercenary Tao, and you just thought I would come and train the boy. Is that right? Well, I mean, that's kind of what he implied. I mean, if it's okay. To be honest, I don't think there's much I can do for you. My training is usually designed to help increase your ability to dodge and your reaction time, as well as increase your power through the climb up alone. However, you two made it here within a record time, so I don't know if there's really much I can do for you. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I figured it was a long shot, but, maybe there's something else you can do for us. Corin, I don't know. Good place to say. Any sort of training, maybe put a good word up with the big guy upstairs. Oh, you want me to put a good word in for you with Kami, is that right? And Roshi's like, but Colin's actually thinking about, well, honestly, maybe you did manage to make it all the way up here. You clearly got the strength, and you've got your youth back, Roshi. It would be foolish enough for us to waste that. I suppose there's something I can do for the kid right now, but I can't guarantee anything, and that's when Roshi's look is like, you're not actually considering, and say, I am considering it, but only if you want to go through with it. After all, we both know there's no guarantee the kid would survive. Wait, survive what? What? And he explains that the general idea is the sacred water, the whole idea of the sacred water and things along those lines. But truth be told, it's just plain old plain old water that he gives you. What the real test is, the training, all that. But there is something, Goku, but it's not something we need to take lightly. It's like, what? It's like, the Ultra Divine Water. Ultra Divine Water, yeah, this is the real stuff. I don't just agree to it for anyone. But the problem is that only the pure of heart can really manage it. Otherwise, it's going to end up killing you. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean you will die. And so Goku's like, oh, but if it works, you'll gain power that you never had before. And so, they're thinking it over. It's like, is it really worth it? The choice is yours, son. It's like, wait, did you ever drink it, Dad? And actually, I don't know if they ever said Roshi drank it. I think maybe he did. We know Roshi can sense power levels. So I'm going to assume he did, or he just gained that ability later on. Because as we know, all the Z-Fighters gained that ability later on. But more importantly onto the story, eventually they just say, all right, I'll do it. All right. And he says, so more it is. They go in. Goku, is hesitant, but he drinks it. He goes, oh, Goku's like, I'm okay. Now, Goku doesn't really get any boost from this, but he can now sense energy levels. We know. I don't think he gave him a boost. We know he was strong enough to go toe-to-toe with King Piccolo after that. I guess it did give him a little boost, now that I think about it. Because, unless for a fact, because that was before Toriyama created the Zenkai. So, I guess it gave him somewhat of a boost. So, if we're saying Goku, by the way, I guess I didn't re-establish where Goku and Roshi's power levels at. Roshi, I think I had him pushing 400. Yeah, I think we had him pushing 400. We'll say 380. That's not the right number, 380 is the number right now. And his full power form, which he can maintain for longer, he's around 2,200-ish. Goku has been pushing about 200 now. With the water, I'd say that could pump him to 220. Nothing severe in terms of a huge boost, but enough that he could definitely hold his own and even beat Tien in a straight fight now. So, they go off. They finish out the whole Red Ribbon Army thing. And Corn says, I'll put in a good word for you for Kami. I can't guarantee anything, but if he agrees to it, don't worry. I won't have to send for you. He will. And so Goku and Roshi, go off, defeat the Red Ribbon Army. Then you have the next Budokai. And, Goku, Roshi, and Krillin are all there. Roshi, being the champion now, as Jackie Chun, shows back up. And they meet Shen, the Crane School teacher's like, Roshi, how are you? Wait, Roshi? It's like, something wrong, Crane? How? You must have learned how to really, you really seem to, you really learned to put on makeup. And this costuming is delightful. How did you do it? It's easy. It's easy. My son right here, just managed to wish my youth back. That problem, Crane, is wish your youth back. I don't believe you. This is all fake. You're still just the same old crotchety pervert you always were. Hey, I'll have you know I'm not old anymore. And they just is funny how he didn't mention he wasn't a pervert. But that's neither here nor there. Tell me, here nor there, Crane. Well, I see you brought some pupils too. Well, I have some pupils of my own. My son, Goku, and my other student, Krillin. It's that's right, and we're going to totally beat your ass. Right. And so, now here's the thing. Obviously, we know that Mercenary Tao is the brother of Shen. Does that get brought up that Roshi's the one who murdered his brother? Well, because we know it was Goku who brought it. If I'm not mistaken, Goku brought up that he killed Mercenary Tao. Here, I think Goku lets it slip as you remind me of someone else. Same arrogance, same tone. Perhaps you've met my brother, Tao Tao. My younger brother. Oh my, quite the formidable fighter. And then that's when Roshi actually decides, if you say so. Wasn't that big of a issue when I took him out? It's excuse me? Oh yeah, he was working for we had no choice. He was working for the Red Ribbon Army. We didn't really he didn't give me much of an option. I blew his ass away with a well-placed Kamehameha. You're lying, Turtle. I know you are. And Goku's no, Dad took him out. I can vouch for that. And he's just, so if you want to settle this right here, right now, we can in the ring another time, Roshi. And so, he storms off. I will kill that man. Because Shen was more than willing to kill Goku. He tried to kill Goku. Goku, fortunately, was nope, not having it. And then Roshi showed up. Unfortunately, he can't do the same thing as Roshi because Roshi is, in his mind, at least somewhat of an equal to him. However, he doesn't realize that Roshi is well beyond him. And so, the next martial arts tournament goes down. And Tien loses to Roshi of Jackie Chun in this. Remember, they faced off. Yeah, Tien does not beat Roshi because we know Tien's power was 180. That's documented. Roshi's pushing 400 now. He's twice as strong as Tien is. He's got no problem. Just nope, sorry. And so it then comes back to Goku versus Roshi again. And this, again, Goku doesn't seem to be able to pick up that it is Jackie Chun is Roshi this time around. Although he does figure out that Roshi isn't in the crowd and wondering where he is, and he is noticing the similarities. So he is starting to put some of the pieces together. But Roshi's smart enough to kind of put on the guise of Jackie Chun to deceive Goku, playfully so. It's I'm not trying to fool you out of any spite, boy. I just don't want you to get a big hit on you. And so they fight again, and again, it is Goku who loses. Although it's a better, I think it's a solid fight. It's a decent fight. Goku's still around 220 at this point. So they ultimately, it ultimately all's well that ends well. But Roshi is the winner. So then you get to the aftermath where, Goku and Krillin, they're all celebrating. Roshi's just having a good time. However, because we know Roshi can sense power levels, or at least he should be able to, he does get this ominous vibe. Whereas Goku is able to sense something wicked coming towards Krillin, heads there before Krillin is killed by Tambourine. So when, Krillin comes in and Krillin's about to be murdered, Goku comes in just... Now, granted, Goku is hungry, just kicks him in the face. That was what that was. And, Goku actually flares, and then Roshi's on his way, too. Goku and Tambourine are duking up, but Goku's hungry, so he's on the losing side, despite being actually much stronger than Tambourine. Roshi comes in there, takes out Tambourine, and says, it can't be, you. My father has returned, and all of you will die. His power, he will gain his youth back. And so, it's a King Piccolo has returned. And so, obviously, Roshi goes to confront him like his master did prior. However, obviously we know Roshi has the evil contaminated, the Mafuba! But he is actually, even if King Piccolo got his youth back, he's leagues beyond. Well, maybe not leagues. He is well beyond, anything Dragon Ball has to offer right now in terms of power levels. The only one who's actually stronger than, from what we know in canon power levels, I believe Kami is 300 or 400. Either way, he's either surpassing Kami or he's just not Kami's level. And so when King Piccolo shows up, you to think you used the Dragon Balls, didn't you, you little whelp? I will do just as you did. But first, I will end you, boy, like I ended your master. Not this time. I'm sealing you away for good this time. Stay back, Goku. This is between me and him. Oh, you have offspring of your own. Well, you took away my children. Perhaps I should take away yours. You will not do any of that! You really think you can take me down with... did you really think I wouldn't have learned my master's technique? No, I will not be sealed again. Just mouth blast Roshi, who actually just... Boom! What? It's yeah, you think I have been sitting in my laurels since getting my youth back? I'm way beyond you now, Piccolo. And Goku's yeah, I was wondering about that. I was yeah, no, Dad can easily take this guy. I was now, Evo, containment wave, and no, it's Piccolo's story is cut short because Roshi confronted him in the cannon, failed to seal him, and died. But Roshi, got his youth and vigor back, so it's not going to kill him at all to use the Mafuba. Hell, he trained in Super to use the Mafuba a lot more effectively, and it didn't kill him, although continued usage would have killed him. But yeah, Roshi's just nope, boop. It's and all's well that ends well. All right, yeah! Well, I think Chaozu still got killed at that time, but they wish Chaozu back with the Dragon Balls. And it's what are we going to do? We're going to have to find a good place to hide him. And all of a sudden, they just hear a sound. I believe I can help you with that. And there they see this, without trying to sound, let's just say this dark-colored djinn. Because I'm saying, isn't that weird, black man? Yeah, almost as weird as what's going to happen if you keep calling me that. What is he? This djinn-looking fellow, this dark, I was what, whoa, and you are oh, yes, I'm Mr. Popo. I am the attendant of the lookout that Kami lives on. Kami wishes to express his gratitude and wishes to meet with both of you. Kami, that's right. The God Corn said, yes, Master Corn managed to finally get a good word in for you. Kami wishes to meet you personally, and thank you for what you have done. And so they joined. Well, how are we supposed to get there? Oh, don't worry about that. Just step on my carpet. And, carpet disappeared. And everyone's just what just happened? And they show up on the lookout. Just, wow. It's impressive. Can't recall ever being here. It is quite a peaceful place. It's like, and yes, indeed it is. It is something, a place I enjoy calling home. And they both look, and they're both surprised. Like, what? And it's like, I know what you're thinking, but this is not King. This is Kami, not Piccolo. And it's like, indeed, I know my appearance may be shocking to you, but there is a reason for that. And he explains the nature of their relationship. It's like, I see. So you had no choice. A choice if you were to become the guardian of the earth. Well, I can respect that. Like, give a guy a warning next time. I only just sealed this dude away. And Kami actually gets a bit of a struggle. Indeed. Which reminds me, I suppose it's time to deal with this. And so, they got me, Popo, I leave this in your care. Corn actually asked if I'd be willing to train you to. Having seen your actions and sensing the potential within you, Goku, I don't see any reason for that. This planet will need a protector beyond that of your father. No offense, Master Roshi. No, and Roshi's like, none taken. I'm surprised I can be as useful as I am now, even with my youth. I know that the Dragon Balls were kind of a one-time deal, so I just want to make the best as I can of this. Maybe me and nice lady and actually settle down properly this time. Which, by the by, that's never happening for Roshi, let's be honest. I see, but it would probably benefit you to do some training as well with us. Well, I don't suppose it could hurt. Perhaps we could even teach you how to fly properly this time. And which Roshi actually is like, you ain't. It's like, look. I know flying is quite an advantageous technique, but I can never tolerate learning anything from that stupid Creighton school. Now, we should actually note, by the way, that what happened with that? Well, I think Shen does try. Real quick to backtrack about the whole Tao thing. Shen does eventually just get fed up and try to attack Roshi in their fight, but Tien actually stops and's like, "There's no honor in that," and ultimately kicks his ass. So real quick, that's what happened there. So Tien is still, the Tien we kind of get to know. He's a bit more hard around the edges or harsh around the edges, just due to the fact that he didn't fight Goku or anything like that and got his ass kicked by Roshi. But that said, it's like, probably might do me well. It's like, and I can assure you, the technique has existed long before your Shen ever created it for you or for the Earthlings. And so it's like, I suppose that can't hurt. And it's like, what do you say, boy? Take a few years and do some training here with the old Big Green. It's like, all right, very well then. By the way, do not call me Big Green. Right. Sorry about that. And so the 3-ish years time of training happens between with Goku and Kami. And so we cut now to, when they both show up again. Roshi actually left prior to Goku. He felt it was time for him to kind of get back to his own personal training. I actually think he would have left the year prior just to give the lowdown on what's going on for everyone. I was like, Goku's away, but he's training. He'll be back. Don't worry. But where does that leave them power-wise before the Piccolo Jr.? Well, actually, there's no Piccolo Jr. arc, remember. Or, the next tournament where Piccolo came up. It's just Roshi would be, still the champion. He's got to, show back up. Well, remember, I'm saying Roshi leaves about a year early, so Goku still gets more training. I also think that because there's two of them, because Roshi is much more experienced and can handle things better, they both spend a year in the hyperbolic time chamber. I think they do spend a full year. They barely manage a full year. So, and they do it the day before Roshi decides to leave, because obviously that's not how that's going to work. So before then, where would they both be standing? Both training. We know that Goku's power, roughly speaking, it's difficult to say. We know it's like the officials say it's like 260, and then his full power is like 400 something, because he wasn't really training for anything specific during those 5 years between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. He was just, light training to improve himself. There was no goal in mind. Here, he's pushing himself, and they're trying to get the practice with the Uzaru form a bit more, where I think over the years Goku finally is able to actually kind of like communicate in that form. And so he does have that as an ace in the hole if he needs it. But, other than that, there's not much they can do with the Uzaru form at this time. So they've, focused on, Popo training him to react without reacting. Roshi can actually pretty much do that. Like, Roshi helps him along with that, too. Although Roshi can obviously use some brushing up thanks to Popo. So, with two of them to train with each other, plus with Popo, and Kami overseeing it every now and then, before the hyperbolic time chamber, I would be willing to bet they could easily. And remember, we are talking Dragon Ball power levels. I don't think you're going to see like huge, like 10,000 whatever power levels, but at least before like the hyperbolic time chamber. But what I do think you'll see is Roshi probably base wise reaching a solid like 800. That might seem small, but that's over double what he was. Because remember, it's a personal growth. Goku and Roshi have been training for a long time together, so he's got the same training partner. And Goku progressing a lot quicker than Roshi just because of his same physiology, and more natural instincts of fighting, like quadruples his power, which puts him actually at close to 900. We'll even say 900. So it actually now surpasses Roshi before the hyperbolic time chamber, which actually now gives Roshi a legitimate partner to like actually improve his strength with. Roshi's full power at this point would probably be close to like 3,000. Actually, giving the number, 3,000. I'd say that's reasonable. So when they go into the hyperbolic time chamber and spend those years in there, they're doing the 10 times gravity over a full year, plus the harsh conditions, plus actually training. That is where things get a little interesting for powers. So with Goku at 9, Roshi at 8, but Roshi now is the weaker of two, so he actually has a better metric to actually, improve himself over. I actually think a solid 10 times for both these guys prior to the time chamber, because Goku's the strong one, so now he's the one who has to backtrack a little bit in terms of how fast he improves, and then they're just kind of like, inching towards each other. I think 10 times for both these guys is not unreasonable at all, especially with the way the hyperbolic time chamber works. So 8,000 for Roshi and 9,000 for Goku. But then Roshi leaves, and Goku now is continuing his training. They say that, and I think Kami and Popo would look at Goku and say, I think it's time we work more on your spiritual training, Goku. Meditation, and so working on that. So Goku spends a lot of the time now focusing on his mental conditioning, meditation. And with that, he focuses, and every now and then he's hearing like this primal roar of the ape in his soul, pretty much. And he's wondering what that is. And, he spends some time, and I don't think he would have figured out what it is at this point. But he's, and every time he focuses harder on it, they can actually feel his power starting to rise, weirdly enough. They're not certain what exactly it is with Goku, but then it just kind of decreases as Goku can't quite pinpoint what it is. So Goku, he's still improving. I think his power would still go up because they would just be focusing more on that aspect of the training, not just physical, but he still get physical training. So I think after one more year, Goku probably is like at 95. He doesn't get a full 10,000, but Goku's like improved seriously. And so when Roshi's there waiting for them, he's also wondering how much Goku's improved since their time together. Roshi does his own training, keeping his skills up. Probably also getting a little stronger. Maybe let's say, I wouldn't say it's a huge amount, but maybe like 8.3, so 8,300. I say that because Roshi now doesn't have any like extreme measures to be training in. He's now just trying to push himself as hard as he can and just maintain himself. In his full power form, I think Roshi, because factoring in like kind of the multipliers of his true power, I think Roshi's full power at this point is like close to 24,000, maybe even like 25. Actually, 25,000 is pretty reasonable, because like his full power seems to be like a multiplier of like 3 times whatever he is, almost, or sometimes even more. So I think that's pretty reasonable, all things considered, like a 24, maybe even close to 30 if you really want to go that into the big number multipliers. But anyway, they come back, and there's like, hey guys, like, hey Goku. It's like, yeah, and Bulma's looking him over. It's like, wow. Now she's with Yamcha at this point. She is with Yamcha. I guess I missed my shot with him. It's like, and Roshi is like, Roshi's looking, like, oh, pining for my young man, huh? It's like, shut up, you old pervert. It's like, oh, what's that, Bulma? It's like, nothing. And the thing, and he's like, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Yamcha's a good guy, but Goku's also a good guy. He's actually not hitting on Bulma. He's actually trying to give advice. I just want you to, not only do I want my son to be happy, I want everyone I know to be happy. Just want to make sure you made the right choice in life too, Bulma. And Bulma, and Bulma's just kind of thinking about that, I guess. It's like, I guess I missed my chance, but it's like, did I make the right choice with Yamcha? Because when you actually think about their relationship, even in Dragon Ball when they were together, were they actually were they really happy with each other? I get they weren't, like, it wasn't like an abusive relationship or like a constant fighting, but was she really happy with Yamcha, I suppose? And I don't know how happy she was. And this kind of, puts that on her. It's like, is my relationship with him really that good? But anyway, we cut over to the actual tournament. Roshi, obviously, against Jackie Chun. And Chi-Chi shows up, and she's angry at Goku. Actually, that's not true. Chi-Chi shows up, and, and Goku does, in this time around, actually doesn't remember initially, but he does things like, I'm sorry, it's been, do I know you? It's like, how could you forget me? It's like, have we met? I'm Chi-Chi, the Ice Star. Oh, whoa, Chi-Chi. This time around, I think, well, I was about to say, I think they'd introduced her early on, but I don't think that's the case, because she just kind of huffed away when he didn't recognize her. Like, woman, he met you nearly 10 years ago. No surprise he might forget who even I would forget someone who would, like, grown up that much. Like, seriously, I'm not saying I have, like, a memory like a steel trap, but I'm saying, like, any normal person would probably have to, like, double take a little bit. Like, do I remember you? Do I know you? Like, seriously, Chi-Chi. Like, that's why it's one of the main reasons I really don't like Chi-Chi. Like, she was an entitled, spoiled little brat. But anyway, so they have their match, and I'm Chi-Chi, the Oxygen Star. Oh, I remember you now. No wonder. I mean, and Goku quickly points out, well, you've grown up so much. How was I supposed to recognize you from all those years ago? To which Chi-Chi's like, well, Goku, I mean, seriously, a woman you promise you might marry someday. And this is where I think Chi-Chi, I'm going to be a little mean on Chi-Chi here just a little bit. And I've said I don't like Chi-Chi that much, but here's the thing. I have a feeling she would have read more into what Goku had said, even in this version where he specifically knew what a wife was and said he wasn't ready yet. I think she still would have read too much into it. And Goku admittedly is like, what? I never promised I would marry you. I was like, you said you weren't interested in a wife at that time. Well, yeah, I wasn't. That doesn't mean, and yeah, maybe someday I wanted to get married, and maybe someday I still want to get married, but that doesn't necessarily mean, I wasn't implying I wanted to marry you or didn't want to marry you. I was just talking. Now, this I think is actually very important. And by the way, let's just fast forward real quick. Goku eventually beats Roshi in the tournament because he's already base-wise stronger there. Even when Roshi goes all out, Goku, looks at the moon and is like, sorry, because he eventually figures it out. It's Roshi. It's like, but I'm taking it this time, and he transforms into his Great Ape form, which is 10 times his base. And it's like, oh man. It's like, God, no, wait, Goku, let's talk about this. And I think they would have made sure to give Goku, like, clothes that actually, stretch, kind of like Saiyan's clothes. And it's like, better dodge, because he can talk now. He can actually give me, like, whoa, you really have come a long way, Goku. It's, you bet. And then he finally just, and he just like, oh, and Goku's the champion, yay! But back onto the Chi-Chi Goku thing. I think because Goku is a lot more wary of the world and what things are, I never liked the fact that I know what my heart wants, even though I've only met you that brief time all those years ago and now. But I feel like Goku just being a lot more self-aware is still attracted to that strong, fiery spirit of Chi-Chi because Saiyans are naturally prone to that in their mates. But this this accusational tone and, getting mad at him, I think he is a little put off by that. Again, a smarter Goku, I think, is a little put off by that. That's not to say, though, he's like, look, I'm sorry if I led you on. But I mean, I never actually said I wanted to maybe marry you one day. But, I mean, and Goku actually says, but, we can maybe start with, like, maybe dinner or something. Goku actually is, like, almost, like, taking it out for a date. And Bulma is strangely jealous of this. Like, I'm with Yamcha, though. I'm happy with Yamcha, right? It's like, and she's just like, oh, okay, we can do that. And so, at the near 30-minute mark, I will sum this up real quick. Before we get into, like, what happens to the time skip and all that. They go on a date, and Chi-Chi is very nice, and Goku likes her a lot. But I feel like Chi-Chi's attitude would rub Goku the wrong way. Because he hasn't spent, at least this version of Goku. I think it would rub him the wrong way. Even though he's a nice, easygoing guy, I think she's I think she just doesn't suit his personality right in this version. And it's like, and after a while, it's like, look, I mean, it's been really nice spending time with you. I don't think this is gonna work out, Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi's very upset by this. It's like, but why? It's like, and Goku doesn't really know how to say, except it's like, he nicely says, I think you're a little too high maintenance. I think, you expect a lot more out of some people than what they might be willing to deliver. And I think that's actually a really important way a really good way to describe Chi-Chi. She expects more. She expects things out of people that they aren't immediately prepared to deliver. I think that's a good way to put it. And Chi-Chi's kind of upset, and she's just kind of, but also angry, and just kind of like walks away in a very upset nature. So Goku will not wind up with Chi-Chi in this version, but I'm not saying he's gonna wind up with Bulma either. I'm actually not even saying he's winding up with anyone, at least earlier on. We'll get to that later, but we'll get to that in Saturday. Until then, thanks for watching part 3. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want to use something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I will be back. Well, actually, I'll be back tomorrow with the next What If and the Who Would Win. I got to pre-record those. I don't have enough battery power for both of them right now, so I'm probably just going to do the Who Would Win, pre-record that first, then I'm going to take a shower. I'm seeing the Protege tonight, so I do have that coming later. Yes, don't worry, Jaden, the critic. Don't worry. I am going to be seeing Paw Patrol, but there is no screening tonight of Paw Patrol. There is a screening tomorrow night of Paw Patrol, to my great regret, but I was planning to open up the video, but I could have been one of those guys that just chose whatever he wanted to see. Didn't have to listen to any of you guys. Just did what he wanted. But no, I decided to make this a community where I take your requests and I try to do them to the best of my ability. If I can see the movie, I'll go see it. And someone decided to request Paw Patrol, the movie. I hope you're satisfied. Jesus, I'm just sorry. I'm looking at the freaking time now for Paw Patrol. It's an hour and a half. Oh, God, it's going to be such a painful thing to sit through. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the best movie ever. Maybe it will sing the praises of the Oscars. Oh, I'd love to be that delusional. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, folks. Later.